I married Daniel when I was 24 years old. Everyone said I was lucky. He had a good job, a nice apartment, and a calm voice. On our wedding day, he held my hand and promised to protect me forever. I believed him with all my heart. The first year of our marriage was quiet and peaceful. We worked during the day and watched movies at night. Sometimes we cooked together. Sometimes we laughed about small things. I thought this was happiness. But slowly things began to change. Daniel started coming home late. At first, he said he had more work at the office. I trusted him. I even felt proud that he was working hard for our future. But the late nights became normal. He stopped eating dinner with me. He stopped asking about my day. One night, I waited for him until midnight. When he finally came home, I smelled perfume on his shirt. It was not my perfume. My heart felt heavy, but I said nothing. Days passed, and his phone became more important than me. He smiled at his screen but did not smile at me. When I asked who he was talking to, he said, "Just a colleague." I wanted to believe him. One weekend, he said he had a business trip. I helped him pack his bag. While folding his shirts, I found a small gift box. Inside was a silver bracelet. It was beautiful, but it was not for me. My birthday was months away. That night, I could not sleep. When he left for the trip, I felt something break inside me. I checked our shared tablet. There were messages. Loving messages. Pictures. Plans to meet. Her name was Sophia. I read every word. My hands were shaking. He told her he felt alive with her. He told her he felt trapped at home. Trapped. Was I a prison? I looked around our apartment. The walls felt cold. The silence was loud. I thought about our wedding promises. I thought about the way he used to look at me. Tears fell down my face, but I made no sound. I did not call him. I did not scream. I just sat on the floor, holding the tablet, feeling smaller than ever. Daniel came back 3 days later. He hugged me like nothing had happened. I stood still in his arms. I felt like I was hugging a stranger. I wanted to ask him about Sophia. The words were ready in my throat. But fear stopped me. What if he left me? What if he chose her? So I stayed silent. The silence became my prison. Every morning, I made his breakfast. Every evening, I waited for him. I tried to be kinder, prettier, quieter. I thought maybe I was not enough. Maybe if I changed, he would love me again. But he did not change. He smiled at his phone. He protected it with a password. He went out more often. Sometimes he did not come home at all. One night, I looked at myself in the mirror. My eyes looked tired. My smile was gone. I whispered, "What happened to you?" I stopped meeting my friends. I was ashamed. I did not want anyone to know my husband loved another woman. One afternoon, I went to a small cafe near our apartment. I needed fresh air. I sat alone with a cup of tea, trying not to cry. That was when I met Adam. He was sitting at the next table, working on his laptop. When I accidentally dropped my spoon, he picked it up and smiled kindly. It was a simple moment, but it felt warm. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. I nodded, but my eyes told another story. We started talking. Nothing special. Just simple things. Weather. Work. Life. But he listened. Really listened. For the first time in months, someone looked at me like I mattered. I began visiting the cafe more often. Sometimes Adam was there. Sometimes we talked for hours. He never asked too many questions, but he noticed my sadness. One day he said, "You deserve to be happy." His words touched a place inside me that I had forgotten. I knew I was married. I knew my heart was fragile. But I also knew I was drowning in loneliness. Adam did not touch me. He did not say romantic words. But his kindness felt dangerous. Because kindness can feel like love when you are starving. And I was starving for love. One evening, Daniel sent a message. "Don't wait for me tonight." I stared at the screen. No explicación. No apology. I went to the cafe. Adam was there. He looked at my face and understood something was wrong. "Do you want to talk?" he asked. I told him everything. About Sophia. About the messages. About the loneliness. The words came out like a storm. Adam listened quietly. His eyes were full of concern. You don't deserve this, he said again. Tears rolled down my cheeks. I felt weak and strong at the same time. Weak because I was hurting. Strong because I was finally speaking. The cafe closed early that night because of rain. It was dark outside. The streets were wet and shining under the lights. I can walk you home, Adam offered. I agreed. When we reached my apartment building, I did not want to go inside. Inside was pain. Inside was silence. Do you want to sit somewhere? He asked gently. We sat on a bench near the building. The rain became heavier. I was cold. He gave me his jacket. In that quiet moment, I felt seen. I felt safe. And then I made a mistake. I leaned forward and kissed him. It was soft and full of confusion. It was not passion. It was sadness. It was anger. It was loneliness. He pulled back first. You're hurt, he said carefully. And I don't want to be another mistake in your life. His words shocked me. I expected him to want me. I expected him to take advantage of my broken heart. But he did not. Instead, he said something I will never forget. Go home. Face the truth. You deserve honesty. From him. And from yourself. I went upstairs alone. That night, I looked at Daniel's empty side of the bed. I understood something clearly. If I continued like this, I would lose myself completely. Not because of Sophia. Not because of Adam. But because I was afraid to choose my own dignity. Daniel came home the next morning. He looked tired but calm. I looked at him differently now. I know about Sophia, I said quietly. He froze. For the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. He tried to explain. He said it was nothing serious. He said he was confused. He said he still loved me. I listened, but something inside me had changed. Do you love her? I asked. He stayed silent. That silence was my answer. I did not scream. I did not cry. I simply said, I deserve better. He looked shocked. Maybe he thought I would beg him to stay. Maybe he thought I was too weak to leave. But I was not weak anymore. Adam did not save me with love. He saved me with respect. When I kissed him, he could have taken advantage of my pain. But he chose to protect my dignity. That moment opened my eyes. I did not want another man to save me. I wanted to save myself. That afternoon, I packed a small suitcase. Daniel watched me, confused and angry. But I felt calm. I hope you find what you are looking for, I told him. And for the first time in months, I felt strong. I moved into a small apartment near my office. It was simple, quiet, peaceful. The first night alone, I expected to feel scared. Instead, I felt free. Weeks later, I met Adam again at the cafe. We talked like friends. Nothing more. No secret kisses. No hidden feelings. He smiled and said, You look different. I feel different, I replied. I realized something important. Sometimes the person who saves you is not the one who stays forever. Sometimes they simply remind you who you are. Daniel did not save me. Adam did not save me. I saved myself. And that was the most powerful love story of all.